I am Caitlin Chester. I'm the Director of Community Engagement and Outreach for the Kids Discovery Museum. And we have a really exciting project that we are just about to launch called Explore Bainbridge. And I had the joy of working with Bernice Cavaluzzi, our lead preschool teacher, and we went around Bainbridge and picked out 10 of our favorite locations here on the island and created an activity book for children and their families to explore Bainbridge throughout the entire year, but we're kicking it off during spring break. And we wanted to create an option during, we know people still aren't comfortable traveling yet. So we wanted something where you could be distanced, but still get outside and have some hands-on experiential learning. So we came up with these 10 activities at 10 different locations. We worked with our really great volunteer groups on our development and education committees within the museum. And so we take you around the island to do things like going to Bainbridge and building sculptures out of driftwood. And then you'll go into the Grand Forest and make hypotheses about what you think lives on the forest floor. And then you'll visit Moritani Preserve and learn about the historic farm equipment there and imagine what you might grow on your own farm, do dandelion rubbings. And so it's a way of just getting people to, both locals, to explore here on the island with kids and families, and then maybe also get some visitors to come over to the island and do some exploring in a safe and distanced way.
That sounds wonderful. And I think that one of the things that we often miss are the wonderful things in our own backyard, and having you give us direction and reason to go to these locations. Sounds like a great thing that grandparents and grandkids might want to do too.
Absolutely. And we really wanted to take what we're so proud of at the museum and just take it all over the island and give families a reason to get outside and explore. And when Bernice, our lead preschool teacher, and I went out and did it, we did it without kids and had a fantastic time creating this book. And so it's something that you could do on your own with kids. And it's just a really great way and a really nice reminder of this beautiful place that we live and all the history and exploration we have here.
Yeah, when you were talking a little bit about it, it includes not only nature and the natural components, but some of the historical elements as well. I'm thinking, obviously, the Moritani location would be one of those.
Yeah, Japanese Exclusion Memorial is another location. We include a piece of origami paper for you to make an origami crane as well, with some history there. We had the ability to work with BIJAC and have them review those pages for not just accuracy, but just to make sure that we were really teaching kids about that history as well. And so it's just been a really wonderful experience as a staff member and as a community member to get to work on this project. And I'm really proud of it and so glad I can share this with you all today as well.
Yeah, I think it seems like a great opportunity. What you just said there about enjoying it as much, even with as an adult doing the project that you were trying to create, makes it clear that this might be something that we might not just do once, but do a couple times or again and again.
Yeah, it's really fun to look at these. I grew up here on Bainbridge. I went through all the schools here. I love it here. And it's great to get out in our own backyard and look at these locations that we all they're beloved here, and just see them from a new perspective and look at them as a scientist or as an observer. And instead of just maybe going to visit with family or friends, maybe walking around them with just a different perspective.
So tell us the nuts and bolts of how we can participate in this.
So the activity books are $20 per person, and all proceeds support Kids Discovery Museum. It all goes back into our programming to provide more opportunities like this for kids on Bainbridge Island and beyond. And you can pick up the activity books at the museum. And then during spring break, for kids who finish, we're offering a prize. But this activity book is going to be available year-round. Just right now, we're just trying to kick it off and do a fun experiential time during spring break, but we're going to make this part of our museum curriculum, and we'll have it available when we reopen to people who are visiting and to people who live on the island as well. So,
oh, that's great.
Yeah, so we'll have it for sale in our museum. You can purchase them on our website, kittymoo.org, and then we have our pickup hours for that right now so that you can pick up and do that during spring break with kids or without.
Have you thought, Caitlin, of selling it down at Eagle Harbor too?
We haven't gotten that far, but that's a great idea.
Yeah, I think that that the idea of us, I mean, as you mentioned that you're planning to have it available on an ongoing basis, it's a great thing that you might think of if you're going to have family members coming to visit, or you know, if it's just part of the uh, potpourri that you want to have on hand as a grandparent in your house. It's like, oh, here's something we could do today, just like you know, having the Charette's Walks on Bainbridge available to you. And that's a really great gift of the museum to all of us on Bainbridge. I really want to thank you for that.
Well, we are just so excited to just take our mission of sparking curiosity and experiential learning for kids and get to just apply it all over the island. It just feels like the perfect fit for us and for the community, and to celebrate that. And it's just really fun for us. And so we're so excited to get to have our community get to see what we've been up to and been working on for the last few months on this book and explore with us.
Obviously, if anybody else besides Sheila, or even Sheila, if you have another comment or question, just open up your microphone and ask it. I'm wondering about other activities at Kitty Moo and how you're looking at reopening as more people get vaccinated and schools get going. And any thoughts about that?
Yeah, so as museum educators, and we also have a preschool within our museum, which will be continuing going forward. We're actually enrolling for our preschool for next year right now. We are all vaccinated within the museum, so we are really excited to start to welcome our members back. April 23rd will be open on weekends to our members, and we'll be reopening to the public May 28th. So that will all be through time ticketing. We'll have a limited number of people in the museum at a time. And we're just so excited to start having kids back in the museum. We've been closed. By the time we'll be reopening to members, it'll have been 408 days since we were open to the public. So we are just so excited to safely start to welcome children and families back into Kitty Mill.
If it's anything like, if what you're going through is anything like what I'm going through, trying to think about getting programs back at the senior center, it is a daunting, although exciting challenge. It's like, oh my gosh, there's all these rooms that we haven't been using in this way. We're going to have to clean them up and get them well organized. And
Yes. Yes, we turned the second floor of our museum into, we created a bunch of at-home learning boxes, including one all about Bainbridge as well. We have an Explore Bainbridge at-home learning box as well. And so the whole second floor of the museum became kit production. So we are putting that all back together and making the museum a museum again. So it's been quite a process getting ready for reopening, but we are just so excited to see families again and welcome children back into the building.
yeah, that's great. And before we started recording here, Karen King was talking about a news in about Pfizer and Moderna being a successful in the real world, proving to be a successful deterrent, not only to getting symptoms from COVID, but actually not getting infected by COVID at all, which is great news that the effective vaccines that we are deploying are going to help us going forward. So that's going to be great for the families, for all of us, obviously, but it's going to be great for families to be able to participate in things at Kitty Moo and elsewhere.
Oh, absolutely. And thank goodness for all of that. It just makes us feel so much safer. We take this so seriously. We want everybody to feel safe coming into our doors, and we take the health of our community so seriously. So without all of that happening, we wouldn't be in the position to be reopening our doors. So we are so thankful.
Yeah. Anybody else have a comment?
Sure. What kinds of things, Caitlin, are you doing with the schools?
We aren't particularly doing anything with the school. We aren't partnering specifically with the schools right now. They are so busy with what they are doing and trying to get back into the swing of things. So we are just letting the schools take care of what they're doing, and any way that we can support, we're here to be a resource for the community.
You know, I was going to ask the same question because I think that what you're doing is education. And the schools being aware of this and possibly maybe somewhat promoting it to the students
Yeah, so what's great is BISD has a wonderful and robust community newsletter. So we always share with them what we're
Mhm.
doing, but during these times I try not to overwhelm them with what we're
Sure.
doing as well.
I get that.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
Yes, I know that they're having a lot of challenges. I was just talking with somebody about the hybrid situation where kids are going in part of the day, different kids, different days. I noticed yeah, I mean, it's just the logistics of trying to operate school right now is a real challenge.
Yes, and BISD's done such an amazing job taking care of our of kids this year, and so more credit to them. So the best that we can do just to supplement with extra activities for families and things to do when kids are not in school. We're just here to be a resource for our community.
And I know that you're focused more on outreach, but can you talk at all about the preschool and how it's been going during this time?
Absolutely. So I am so proud of our preschool program. Right now, we have 12 kids in our preschool. It's a creative play-based learning program, and I have the joy because right now I am a floating desk in the museum. So I am actually just up in the second floor. I can hear them 3 days a week laughing, learning, and exploring and just having so much fun. Bernice Cavalluzzi, our lead teacher, is just fantastic. So right now we're enrolling and getting ready for next year as we wrap up this year. It was a fantastic first year, and we're getting ready to ramp up from 12 students this year to 16 next year. And it just couldn't have gone better. We look back and we think, why didn't we have a preschool before? The museum's just such a natural setting for a preschool. And so as we look forward to our hours in the fall, we'll always have the museum closed while our preschool is open to respect their classroom and their space. And we just feel like it's the perfect combination to have a classroom within the museum and then also function as a operating museum when the preschool isn't in session.
That's great. Nice to know. Nice to know. Thanks a lot for dropping by and sharing this information with us. I really appreciate it.